Kyle is one maniacal, evil piece of trash. Let's talk about it, y'all. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box, as well as the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now, before I get started with this review, let me send a shout out to the GMHC crew, which is Gay Men's Health Collaborative. If you are in the DMV area and would like to get tested for HIV, reach out to us at the GMHC crew for our home testing kit. You can have the kit mailed to you, or you can call and make a same-day appointment and come to our location to pick one up. Also, if you're interested in getting set up for PrEP, which is HIV prevention, reach out to us at the GMHC crew for that as well. Also, if you're a fan of KRSTV and would like to become one of my Black Diamonds, sign up for my Patreon today. Black Diamonds, because in darkness we still shine. For $5 a month, you get all of my YouTube content, as well as videos specifically designed for the Black Diamonds that will not appear on YouTube. So sign up for my Patreon today. Also, check out my YouTube partner, BK WorldTube, which is the Black Netflix. You get shows like the Black Ink Crew and RuPaul's Drag Race. So after you watch this review, click that link in my description box and also in my comment section to check out BK WorldTube. Now, this is the Oval Season 1, Episode 21, and the name of this episode is The Godfather. Yo, this episode made me hate the living shit out of Kyle. Because Kyle just shows that he is a sociopath and he is just downright evil. Because the episode picks up where Yuma has entered into Denise's store. Kyle shoots her, and he literally is torturing her. You know, she's screaming for help because she's bleeding out. He's trying to tell her to call it in. He takes her gun, then takes her walkie-talkie, and is literally torturing this woman. And you know, he's pretty much she's saying call it in. I'm bleeding. He's like, I'm not calling in nothing, and he's just getting off of the fact that he has power over her. You know, like the guy is a complete sociopathic evil bastard. Like, I was just so disgusted. Like, Kyle, but shout out to Brad Benedict, because he is a good actor. Like, he really is playing this role, because Kyle, I truly hate this bastard, because he is just so evil, and he will stop at nothing to get what he wants, and he has a pleasure of killing and hurting people. He loves it. It's a sport for him. So that was going on. Then we see Gail is talking to Brian the lawyer about being emancipated. You know, and she's saying that, well, if I share anything, will you keep it between us? And he said that, well, if you fill out the form, you know, you will, and you actually sign me up as your lawyer, you will have, you know, attorney-client privilege. So he sends her the document to read and sign. She does it immediately. And pretty much, you know, he's just like, wow, the president's daughter, this is crazy. So she immediately e-signs it, and then he pretty much says, so, okay, tell me the truth about your parents. And pretty much she tells that they abused me and my brother, and like, you know, she starts going in. Then we go back to the pharmacy. Sam has finally ran into Kareem. You know, he pretty much tries to get him to drop the charges, and Kareem, with his simple stinking ass, was like, why? Why should I drop the charges? He's not above the law. And he kind of was like really rude as hell to Sam and was like, I'm not dropping the charges. And he's like, well, look, I work for Secret Service. Like, yeah, but I don't know you, Mr. Secret Service man. You know, he's like, but being somebody of my caliber, I can do a favor for you down the line. He's like, well, I decline, Mr. Service man. I'm like, see, as I said, Kareem deeply hates Barry, and he will stop at nothing to destroy Barry, because Barry has the one thing that he doesn't, which is Sharon. Yeah, you might have gotten Sharon's box, but you know Barry has her heart, and you hate him for it. And I'm like, and he sees Barry as a threat, which is why he pulled out that gun, because he wanted to kill Barry, so therefore Barry would be out the way and he can have Sharon all to himself. Piece of shit. Okay, so then we were back at the hospital with Richard and Nancy. Richard is ready to get out the hospital. You know, he even went to the bathroom by himself, and she's like, "You have a bedpan." He's like, "I'm not using that." And then finally Sam shows up and everything. And he pretty much says that, you know, Barry is up for bail, and they also found out that Ruth is not dead, and that the blood on the knife was animal blood. And then in this scene, so in this one, they ask, so pretty much they know that the whole situation with Ruth is done. So then he asks us about the shooting, and they said, well, they found the gun, but the thing is, if Barry says that this individual was in his car, he walks. You know, and then all of a sudden, Nancy was like, oh no, I'm dead set against that. What, we're gonna tell him to lie? Really? If he did this, he should pay for what he did. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck, Nancy? This is your son. Like, what the hell? And she's like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And then Sam's like, look, the kid is dead. You know. So she's like, well, who is this kid that y'all trying to pin it on? And Richard pretty much tells her it's Picky. And she's like, my nephew? Picky's dead? And she's like, yeah, he was killed in a gang shooting. And he's like, I'm dead set against that. Are you serious? And Richard's like, look, it's to protect our son. And she's like, but to give up my sister's son? And I'm like, ooh, why did you pause, boo-boo? What's going on here? And she's just so dead set against it that she ends up leaving. I'm like, something up with that damn Nancy. I'm telling y'all. So pretty much we see Victoria is talking to one of the maids. She pretty much says that no one is allowed to go into this room. So then we actually meet a new character. Her name is Diane Wilmot. She's the press secretary. She gets a call, and it's Brian, the attorney. And he pretty much tells her that Gail is trying to emancipate from her parents or whatever, and she's claimed, and she's saying that she's claimed abuse from her parents. And she says, oh, that could not be further from the truth, and pretty much, she's like, look, why don't you give me 24 hours? And he says that, no, I'm going to the court immediately in the morning. He was like, I wouldn't advise you to do that, if you value your career. And he's like, are you threatening me? She's like, no, I'm telling you to proceed with caution, because that child is a wild card, and we need to get all the facts before you move forward. So he's like, fine, we'll wait. But she's like, just give me 24 hours, and we'll reconvene on that. So then we see Donald. We see Alan, who's his aide, tells him that the press secretary is on the line. Wants to talk to him. Lily's not answering her phone, and Agent Flint wants to talk to him, which is Kyle. So pretty much, Kyle lets him know that yeah, I'm taking care of the situation. And he says I can set it up where Max will come looking for her because he's dumb enough to do that. And then he says, so what's going on with Lily? And Donald's like, she hasn't called back yet. And he's like, man, the soft spot you got for this woman. And then Donald was like, well, as long as I got a hard spot for you, don't worry about it. I was like, y'all some nasty asses. Oh, that was a mess. So then we get a scene with Gail and Jason. She lets Jason know that she's talked to a lawyer and he's filing her emancipation. But then Jason's like, but you don't have any money. She's like, I don't need money. When you're famous, you don't need money. Gail is such an immature brat and so dumb and oblivious that it's ridiculous. Like, And she said, and he asks her, like, what did you tell him? She says, I told him everything. And she's like, you just don't learn. They are going to be pissed when they find out. And it's all going to come down on me. And she's like, won't you just come with me? After all, I will need witnesses. He's like, that explains why you're being nice. You're only nice when you want something. And she's like, but I can make it worth your while. You know Jean? Yeah, I know you got a thing for her. Yeah, I heard her talking about mom and dad. Like, no, boo-boo. She was talking about your mother and you, Jason. And she's like, the fact that she was talking about mom and dad, she can get fired. She's not supposed to be talking about us. And besides, she needs this job because I see that she lives in a pathetic little apartment. She got more than your ass because if you managed to pay for your parents, how the hell you gonna live, Gail? Huh? Like, Gail is so damn dumb, it's ridiculous, man. Like, girl, you want to emancipate from your parents, but you don't have a plan at all. And you have no money. You have no foundation. Like, she's literally an entitled brat. And got a nerve to talk about Jean. Like, Jean may have a little apartment, but Jean works and makes her own money. You don't know the meaning of work at all because you never had to work for anything with your dumb, spoiled ass. And then, she's trying to get Jason to help her, and Jason says, no, I'm not with this shit. Then she's like, well, fine. You can't use my information and you can stay here with these assholes. I'm like, Gail's a mess. I mean, I do feel sorry for these kids because these kids are in a bad situation, but man, are they some bad seeds. So then, we see Kyle goes to Max, and he says, so pretty much Max is like, get the hell away from me. I don't trust you. What the hell? What do you want? And he says, I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to the Attorney General, and she says that, drugs, she always brought him drugs. And I think he accidentally killed her. And I'm gonna go to the to the Department of Justice, And he's still telling him, I don't trust you. And he's like, look, come on, we gotta stick together. I mean, I'm a Ranger, you're a Marine. Look, I need you to get the van and get rid of the mattress. We need to do this. We can take this to the Department of Justice, and we can finally do the right thing. And Max blatantly just agrees to help him out, but in a way still saying, I don't trust you for shit. So then we get to meet the press secretary's aide. Her name is Ellie, and Ellie's gorgeous. She got her cute little Millie Jackson hair, and she's got this, baby stacked. And as soon as Hunter sees her, immediately those horns start wagging. he done found him a new play toy. Now that Denise is dead, he done found him another young hot thing. But what happens is that when Hunter opens the door, Ellie is talking to one of the aides, saying that the press secretary wants to meet with Hunter, and Hunter immediately notices her and asks her to come in, and you can just tell he is feeling her immediately. He has an instant attraction to her, and she's an aide or whatever. So then we see Diane, the press secretary. She meets up with Donald. She pretty much, just bypasses Alan because she's ruthless as hell, and goes into his office, and pretty much she says that the first daughter, we got a situation. We need to meet in the Oval with the president and the first lady immediately. So Donald calls Kyle and was like, the window is now open because now Victoria's out of the way. So Max is trying to call Yuma and he's not getting the answer. Kyle calls Max and says, make your move. It's now or never. And he's like, I don't trust you. Again, now or never. And Kyle pretty much decides to go and get the mattress out the way. So then we see Ellie and Hunter, he's pretty much going back and forth or whatever. Victoria shows up and immediately Victoria is letting it be known she ain't liking this shit. And she's immediately pissed, when she sees Ellie. So pretty much, Ellie ends up leaving and she's like, you have to be the stupidest asshole. Like, damn. We still got a bloody mattress upstairs and here you are on your next victim? And she's like, what, go to hell. She's like, yeah, did you tell her the truth about you? How you like to get high and you could possibly decapitate a bitch? I was like, oh shit. Oh my god, her wordplay is everything. I mean, I got a love-hate relationship with Victoria, just like I do Veronica Harrington on the Haves and Have-Nots. But yeah, when she said that shit, I was done. Oh my goodness. And she's like, the Secret Service just escorted me here. What the hell is going on? So then we see Donald and Diane finally show up, and pretty much, Diane pretty much says that, well, your daughter is talking to an attorney to emancipate from you guys, and she's been making some damaging allegations, and then pretty much, she's, and like Victoria's rude as hell to fucking Diane. She's like, well, spit it out, bitch. And she's like, well, she pretty much says that you have beaten her and that you two physically fight all the time and that she was raped and you did nothing about it. Possibly I think all these things are true because, but it is what it is, and that you're unfit and sick people. I have to say, all of these allegations are true. And that the attorney is ready to do an emergency hearing in 24 hours. So pretty much so Hunter and Victoria go back and forth, attacking each other and shit like they usually do. And pretty much, Diana's trying to interject. And it's like, well, we need, and she's like, shut up, bitch. And then she still kept going. She's like, bitch, I said shut up. The first lady is talking. Oh my, Victoria is just so viciously mean that it's just crazy. And then she's like, wait a minute. How the hell did she get even access to a lawyer? Because she knows that they have limited access to the internet. So how was she able to do that? And then Donald's like, we're looking into that. She's like, you know what? This administration should be fired. All of you are a bunch of dumbasses. And then all of a sudden, when Diane proceeds to leave, she sees a pair of panties under the pillow on the couch, and she literally sneaks them into her folder and leaves. And I'm like, oh, that damn Diane is a ruthless ass bitch. But it gets even more so. So let me keep it moving. Um, so then we see Hunter and Donald, they go back and forth, and Hunter pretty much says, I don't like her as press secretary. She's too fat. And I'm like, but I like that new girl. And I'm like, he's like, look, I'm going to go check out this whole lawyer thing. And a matter of fact, I'll meet with him myself. And he's like, I want a new press secretary, Donald. I'm like, no, you want a piece of ass that you can have access to. Now that I can say was kind of a corollary between Scandal, because we know that Olivia Pope was a press secretary and she was having an affair with the president. So I kind of got that correlation. That's probably the only similarity of Scandal that's on this show, was that situation. So then we see Max is driving with a mattress in the car. He gets a call from Yuma, I'm sorry, and she's saying that she's at the clothing store and come alone. And he's like, I can get back up. He's like, no, come alone. And she's literally bleeding out, and she's telling Cal, like, look, call for help. I'm bleeding out. And he's like, oh, don't worry. That's not how you're gonna go. I'm like, Cal's an evil piece of shit. So pretty much Victoria runs into Jason. She's looking for Gail, and she immediately notices that the room door was open. She pretty much goes off on the maid like, I thought I told your ass not to let nobody in here. She's like, well, Secret Service went in and said they had to remove something. And she says, who? She pretty much named Max. And she's like, I'm sorry, did I do something wrong? She was like, no, that will be your parents. I'm like, Victoria is so damn disrespectful, man. Oh, and then we get a scene where Diane goes in on Ellie. Is pretty much accusing Ellie of having sex with the president, and pretty much she's like, so you remember the president? And she's like, well, yeah. She's like, stop smiling, bitch. And I was like, ooh. And then she's like, yeah, you up there smiling and shit, lift up your dress. And she's like, excuse me? No. She's like, either you do it or I'll do it for you. And I'm like, oh, bitch, this is like sexual harassment. Are you serious? Like, Diane is just cruel. And pretty much she's like, absolutely not. And she's like, then why the hell did I find these in the Oval Office? Not realizing that those panties are Denise. And he probably kept them there and was probably sniffing on them, thinking about Denise. Like, because Hunter is literally pussy crazy. And she pretty much says that, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this, because I'm gonna have this sent to get tested, and I'm gonna see if it matches your DNA. And when I get the results, you're fired. I'm like, yo, she is putting Ellie through hell. So then we see Max finally shows up at the store. He sees Puma. He sees Yuma literally tied up and everything, and then Kyle comes out of nowhere and starts fighting. And let's just say Max was getting some serious blows on Kyle. At one point Max was beating Kyle's ass, but then towards the end, Kyle got the upper hand, and that's where the episode ended. And I'm like, damn. That damn Kyle is one evil son of a bitch. Because the fact that the two of them could expose that whole situation, yeah. They're a big threat. And Kyle is literally getting pleasure out of doing this shit to them. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, get down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And I'm really enjoying this show. So until next time, everybody, take care.